Shalom, y'all. I just finished a private one-on-one family learning experience, spiritual motivational time together with people that I respect, where we went over and we learned Psalms together with his family and myself here. Let's see if I can get the picture a little better for you. And I figured if you guys would just give me like 5 minutes, I don't have more than that. The sun is setting. Shalom, Mark. What's up, Josh Frisch? Dan. It's really nice to see you guys. Shalom. I've got a rock here holding my place. I got a bunch of Tehillim Psalms that I printed out. I'm just going to read one. Feel free to join me if you want. And if not, then here's what we're going to do. In these very hills where the psalmist will say, I lift my eyes up to the mountains. These are the mountains. The same mountains. Yes, King David wrote, I think, upwards of 72 plus of the Psalms. And King David would write these Psalms in these hills. He'd have his harp, maybe he'd have his sheep, but he'd be staring at this glory and beauty just like you are. So as I say, oh Lord, we raise our eyes to the mountains, you're going to raise your eyes to these mountains. I think it's pretty cool. So we're going to start with Psalm 121. I just read it for this amazing family, and we're going to do it together over sunset. So let's do it. Shir lamalot esa einai el haharim me'ayin yavo ezri. A song for ascents. I shall raise my eyes to the mountains. From where will my help come? Answer that question. Where does our help come from? Where? What is our shelter? What is our strength? Who is constantly always by our side? God. Even though we don't always hear an answer from God immediately, like a yes, I give my judgment, or no, that is not correct. It's not us to judge or doubt. It is us to follow. It is for us to lead others. It is for God to judge. Even Tupac knew that. Anyways, a song for ascents. I shall raise my eyes to the mountains. From where will my help come? Ezri me'im Adonai, oseh shamayim ba'aretz. My help is from the Lord, the maker of the heavens and of the earth. Al yitain lamot raglecha al yanum shomrecha. He will not allow your foot to falter. Your guardian will not slumber. And that's guardian with a capital G. Like OG. I'm on the Tupac phase. That's guardian with a capital G. He will not allow your foot to falter. He will not slumber. He's got your back. He's with you in that valley of the shadow of death. He is by your side, even when you're not by his. Even when he covers his face and doesn't allow you to see his full glory, he's still with you. Hine lo yanum v'lo yishan shomer Yisrael. Behold, the guardian of Israel will neither slumber nor sleep, ever. And I just gave this example to this amazing family, this godly family. If you or me, if we had troubles in our area, big troubles, civil unrest, rioting, would you just go to sleep and let your family suffer the consequences? If I knew that from sunset right now until sunrise tomorrow morning, there was a grave danger to my family, my friends, my people, or you, I would stand guard, watching over to make certain nothing happened. And in a micro way, we can relate to how God is for us. Just like we would do that for our children or our beloved, so too God does that for his children, his beloved, which is all of us. Adonai shomrecho, Adonai tzilcho al yad yaminecho. The Lord is your guardian. The Lord is your shadow. He is by your right hand. What a beautiful statement. Not only is the Lord your guardian, you know, tactical guys, they wear body armor. Police officers, they wear body armor. Protects them front and back. Helmets protects their head. It guards them. But they're also saying that the Lord is their shadow. It's not just a guardian. He's there always. After a hard day, you take the armor off. You relax. But God is still there. He's your shadow. He is by your right hand symbolizing strength. That isn't to say that you lefties aren't strong. That's just traditionally in Jewish terminology, the right hand is considered the strength hand. When you bless a child, the firstborn, you put the right hand on top of the head of that child. When you wash your hands before you eat bread, the left grasps the cup and it washes the right. It's deep stuff. Yomam hashemesh lo yakeka v'yareach b'layla. By day the sun will not smite you, nor will the moon at night. Adonai yishmarcha mikol ra. Say that out loud. I'll teach you the words, and this is not using God's name in vain. This is using God's name to spread Torah around the world. Adonai yishmarcha mikol ra. The Lord will guard you from all evil. Yishmor et nafshecha. He will guard your soul. That's a very interesting statement. We don't think about our souls need protection from God. How many of us, maybe some people do, they don't normally pray to God and say, God, please protect my soul. It's normally protect something physical. Protect something, give something physical, or heal something physical. But here it's saying that the Lord will guard you from all evil. How do you guard yourself from doing evil? By guarding your soul. Just like it says in the Shema prayer. V'lo tatu acharei levavchem v'acharei nichem asher atem zonim achareihem. And don't stray after what your heart and what your eyes tell you that it wants. So once you guard your soul from that evil, then you're guarded from the evil at all surrounding you to begin with. It's like putting that spiritual armor on. There's depth to the I said psalms, how horrible. Psalms. With a silent psi. The Lord will guard your going out and your coming in from now to eternity. That's just a beautiful closing statement in my opinion. Wow, I just exploded the earth with a nuclear bomb. 1 second. Hold on. Let me turn the lights on. Hey, God, would you dim the lights? It's a little bright out here. Gotta have fun with this. Anyways, if y'all can bear with me, I wouldn't mind doing one more. Just one more. What does it hurt? To look at the mountains of Judah, the hills of King David, and read Psalms with me in these hills. Let's just do one more. Let's see. Which one will I choose here? Here, let's do Psalm 122. Why not? This is Tehillim, chapter 122. Shir Hamalot David Samachti Ba'omrim Li Beit Adonai Nelech. A song of ascents of David. I rejoiced when they said to me, let us go to the house of the Lord. King David ruled this hill. These words are more famous than Shakespeare. I said this again earlier today. They're more famous than Ben Franklin. They're more famous, I don't know, than whatever we've learned in most of our history books, whatever has been written by famous people. It's more famous than the Magna Carta. It's even more famous than the Constitution and the Bill of Rights. This predates that by thousands of years. Not that both aren't incredible, but understand how this has outlived and outlasted the sands of time and tyrants and darkness. It has been passed along from generation to generation to where the whole world right now is reciting psalms. At least I know my Jewish and Christian friends are. And now it's beaming across the globe that God's word will go out from Zion. And it is, at the speed of light. So here's David in his fields or wherever he might be in this magnificent area. I rejoiced when they said to me, let us go to the house of the Lord. Omdot hayu ragleinu b'sha'arayich Yerushalayim. Our feet were standing within your gates, O Jerusalem. O Jerusalem, I haven't seen Jerusalem beyond from this distance. Just right here, I can see the most amazing view of Yerushalayim Ir HaKodesh from this hilltop. But we were standing, our feet were standing at your gates, O Jerusalem, and we have a world that tells us that we, the Jewish nation, have no history or connection to Jerusalem as our eternal capital. Shame on you, ignorant fools. Here's King David, thousands and thousands and thousands of years before your mother gave birth to you, talking about the glory of Jerusalem, about how just standing at the gates of Jerusalem gave us joy as a nation. Yerushalayim habnuya, ki'ir shechubra la yachdav. The built-up Jerusalem is like a city that was joined together within itself. The meaning of built-up Jerusalem is obviously referring to Solomon, his son, building the temple. And when God's presence exists within that temple area. A beautiful time. And here we are in a modern time when Jerusalem is built up. And I'm telling you all, the bricks of the temple they're being worked on right now. Each and every time we do something like this. Each and every time we encourage our family to stand strong. Each and every time we bless Israel. Each and every time we do a good deed. Each and every time we buy a lunch for our firefighters or our hospital workers or our doctors. Each and every time we make a blessing on our food. Each and every time we prevent our mouths from speaking bad words about our spouses, our children, our neighbors, our friends. It's building another brick, getting that brick ready for the temple. Don't forget, the temple wasn't called a Jewish house of worship. It was called a house of worship for all nations. So you, all nations, you have a job to do. You can also help get the bricks ready for the temple. Shesham alu shvatim shiftei yo. Edut liYisrael lahodot l'Shem Adonai. There ascended the tribes of God. Testimony to Israel, to give thanks to the name of the Lord. They're obviously talking about how all of Israel would go to the temple. And right here where I'm sitting is the path of the patriarchs. It connects from my area right through to here to Jerusalem, where the whole nation of Israel would ascend from the south of Israel, from Beersheba, Hebron, all the way up to here, with their sacrifices, with their families, with their instruments, singing, joyous, dancing in their homeland, in their God-given eternal birthright, on their way to the temple, which still stands right here. You just have to see it. Ki shama yashvu chisaot lemishpat, ki saot lebeit David. For there were set thrones for judgment, thrones for the house of David. House of David, I'm right across from Bethlehem. That's the house of David, right here where you're joining me in. Incredible. For also in Jerusalem, here's a commentary, that God's presence, Shekhinah, the Shekhinah will rest, and thrones will sit there upon which to judge the nations, and the royal thrones of the house of David. Sha'alu shalom Yerushalayim yishalu. Hold on, let me start that over. It's a tongue twister. She-shells by the seashore. It's King David's version. Sha'alu shalom Yerushalayim yishlayu ohavayich. Yes, all those years of Hebrew school paid off, Dad. Thanks. Request the welfare of Jerusalem. May those who love you enjoy tranquility. Do you hear that, nations? In this one psalm, it's talking about the nations. It's talking about the judgment of the nations. And then it goes directly to request the welfare of Jerusalem. Basically, pray for the peace of Jerusalem. May those who love you enjoy tranquility. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. Yehi shalom b'chelech shalva ba'armonotayach. May there be peace in your wall, tranquility in your palaces, your wall, your home. Obviously, it's referring to Jerusalem, but we can all take that to heart. This was written by a man, and the man used physical terms in order to describe his love for God, his love for his nation, his fear, his hopes, his dreams. So to us, may there be peace in your wall. Yihi shalom. B'chelech shalva ba'armonotayich. May there be peace in your wall, tranquility in your palaces, and your homes should be palaces, not just houses, not just an apartment. You have to make it into a palace. That means a place where it is royalty, where God sits at the table with you on a Friday night, where your children are treated properly with respect, where they treat their parents with respect. Don't get me wrong. We all live the same lives. Our kids go crazy. But there's a certain holiness when you get out of the kid aspect of it and get into the I respect my parents no matter what aspect to it, then your house has turned into a house. It's a palace. It's not just a home. When you prepare a Sabbath meal on a Friday night, you're setting the table up like you would to receive a king in the palace. It's different. Leman achai v'reyoy adabra nashalom bach. For the sake of my brethren and my companions, I shall now speak of peace in you. And the modern terminology would be, hold on, for the sake of my Facebook friends, Leman beit Adonai Eloheinu avak shatov lach. For the sake of the house of the Lord our God, I shall beg for goodness for you. Beg for goodness for you. How many of us have turned to our friends and said, I'm going to beg for mercy for you. I'm going to beg for goodness for you, not just for me. Not just, God, please grant me something for me and my family. God, please grant me something for my friends, my neighbors, even those that I may not get along so well with. Please grant it in their hearts where they can maybe have a slightly better life, so they can have some ease in their life, so they may not be so uptight all the time. Start praying for others. But you notice David doesn't just say praying, he said begging. The king of Israel begging. How many presidents? How many kings and queens and palaces throughout the world today would beg? How many? How many are King David? Now we see why the Davidic lineage brought about the lineage for the Messianic line. This is a king where everything is due to him. Everything should be given to him. I am king. Yet here he is riding for all eternity, scribing for all of us to see in all of his nakedness and glory. Ego free. I will beg for you, my friends, my brethren, and my companions. I, the King of Israel, will beg for you. So here, I'm going to beg for you as well, and I want you to beg for your friends and family. I want you to beg God for their health. I want you to beg God for their protection. I want you to beg God to live a godly lifestyle, to have an ability to turn your home into a palace, a place fit for God to come into and to be a part of, a family meal. God bless you all from Israel. Thanks for watching Sunset. I'm going to collect these holy words. And what's cool is because these have the name of God on them, we don't throw them in the garbage. We have specific receptacles all throughout every community you see here in Jerusalem and all these other places, where when you have holy articles with God's name written, or even sometimes just Hebrew writing on it, they'll stick it in that receptacle. And then instead of throwing it in the trash, which is disrespectful, they bury it into the ground, into the land of Israel, which is absolutely beautiful. Anyways, whoop, hold on. Let me show you this gorgeousness. It is another beautiful night in the Jewish state. Wishing you all a beautiful day, a day of power, of energy, of spirituality. I understand nobody's perfect. I understand we all have our ups and downs. But if you can take just these few minutes and get a little bit of motivation and spirituality from it, then take it, encapsulate it. Don't hesitate. Share it. Not just, I don't mean Facebook shares. I mean share it from the inside to your friends, to your family, to people that you claim to love and respect, because it'll only bounce back in your direction. God bless you all from Israel. Love you all.